This is the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping this show on May 11, 2012. Our time is 8:42 Mountain, 10:42 Eastern. Radio show runs AM 640 Toronto, 630 CHED in Edmonton, also QR77 Calgary. If you ever miss a radio show, they're archived on Harold's website, hesradio.com. And we have a podcast as well you can sign up for. You can listen to us anywhere now. And this week, it's a special week because Harold has informed me that we are doing our 500th show. So, Harold, congratulations on 500 shows. And we have an incredible passion for what we do. We're passionate to help people not only maintain the money they have and make money, but to help people in general. That's why we're doing this radio show. But congratulations, 500 shows, and we have never missed a show, which is incredible.
You better believe it. Congratulations, Randy. I've loved doing this with you. 500 shows is a tremendous milestone, and, you know, you've done a phenomenal job, and again, nobody in the world I'd rather do this with than you. So congratulations, and again, to all of our listeners out there that have listened to us for 500 shows, again, I can't tell you how much I appreciate, and Randy and I appreciate your loyalty to us, and again, we will continue to do this as long as we possibly can. And I look forward to it every single week. No matter what the markets are doing, obviously there's times when the markets are extremely stressful, as they have been for the last 7 or 8 months. In fact, this week, you know, the markets were very rough, and we had a lot of, you know, pullbacks in the market type of thing. However, the gold and silver markets are still trading within their trading range, at the lower end of their trading range. But today, as we're taping the show on Friday, the market's actually looking very encouraging, which is telling me that we're pretty well at the bottom of this market. So as we're taping the show today on Friday, the gold market, which was down heavily this morning, down to 1577, is now back up to 1591. So we've seen, you know, increase in the price of gold. In fact, gold is about to go positive after being negative almost all week long. So the gold market is picking up, and the silver market just went positive. The low today was 28.36. We're up to 29.22. So we've seen about an 80-cent increase in the price of silver, and that's happened within the first 10 minutes of trading. The oil market, which was down about $1.50 this morning, is actually down right now about 25 cents. So the oil market is coming back also, and we're trading at 96.76 in crude oil at this point. Now, we did see oil up to $106. We've seen it come down to $95, $96. It's something that we said that was going to happen, and it's primarily because this is an election year, and there's a lot happening as far as posturings going, being an election year. And again, we knew that the government would try to bring down the price of oil, talk it down or bring it down artificially, but please understand that the long-term view for crude oil is substantially higher. Even without a war in the Middle East, we anticipate that crude oil in the next 2 years will be back up to about the $150 level. It could happen much quicker if we do have something happen this summer, which is very feasible, you know, with Iran and Israel. Now, the reason that the market has been down for the last several weeks is primarily what's happening in Europe. There's weakness in the euro. It did break through the 130 level, which is an important support level for the euro, and weakness in Europe has really caused chaos in the markets. Europe is literally falling apart. So it's really confusing for most people to try to figure out how Europe will affect the North American markets, and how concerned should we be? Well, we should be very concerned because, again, when all the banks are intertwined, so as the banks in Europe go under, that will affect the banks in North America. They trade amongst each other, and that's going to be an issue. The other thing is the currency. As Europe continues to get into more and more trouble, is it possible that the U.S. dollar will fall further? At this particular point, we know that the reason that the dollar has rallied over the past several months is primarily because of the weakness in the euro. However, if things were horrendous in Europe, the euro would be literally falling apart and would have fallen below par. And at this point, we're still trading right at around the 130 level in the euro, which it's been at, for several months in a row now. So it goes to show you that no matter how bad things are in Europe, the fact is that if this is the best that the U.S. dollar can do, I'd say that we're looking fairly safe. In actual fact, what I believe is going to happen is we are going to see the U.S. dollar start to fall again, and I do think that things are going to settle down in Europe, hopefully, over the summertime. So I think that we're very close to the bottom of the sell-off in the gold and silver market. There is very heavy support in the market at the 1580 level. Even though we did hit 1577, we'd have to see the market close below 1580 in order for it to reach its next major support level of 15 and a quarter. Again, it's possible that we could hit those numbers and it wouldn't change anything in the gold and silver market. Silver just went positive on the day, and instead of being down 50, 60 cents, it's now just gone positive. And again, there's major support in the market at $28. It hit $28.36 this morning. And then on top of that, the major heaviest support for silver is at $26. Is it possible we could get close to that? Yes. And if we did get close to it, again, it would be a tremendous buying opportunity in my mind. Again, the low that we saw in silver was right at $26 when it went from $50 to $26. Again, that means that if we did hit the $26 level again, it would be called what is called a double bottom. And again, if that market does hold, I only see better things for gold and silver coming forward. I also see oil prices going forward substantially. Again, at this point here, because Europe is in such big trouble, what they're saying is that Europe will not use as much oil, and that's why the markets have fallen off. However, there are shortages in the oil market. No matter what they say, there are shortages in oil, and I do believe that over the next year to 2 years, oil will come back to that 150 level. So again, we are very bullish on the oil market and still extremely bullish on gold and silver. And I do believe that we're very close to the bottom of the gold and silver market, and if you do believe that we are going to see massive inflation because of what's happening in Europe and the United States, you need to be into the gold, silver, and diamond market. Those are the three best areas to protect your money and to make money while inflation does definitely hit our pocketbook. So all in all, people are confused at this point. They don't know what to do. In my opinion, the markets are very similar to 2008 when the stock markets plummeted and the commodity markets plummeted at the same time. Now, again, the reason that the stock market fell was because Lehman went under and there was a run on the banks. That caused the market to drop from 14,000 in the Dow all the way down to 6,500 in a fairly short period of time. Also during that time, the TSX plummeted, and so did almost all commodities. But at that point, commodities were very high, and because the traders in the stock market were losing a fortune and they were heavily leveraged, that's why you started to see commodities sell off. However, they did turn around very quickly, and then gold and silver actually came back and made brand new highs. We do compare this market to 2008, and I do believe that we're very similar to what happened back then with Lehman Brothers going under. A very similar situation is happening in Europe as France and Italy and Spain and Portugal are all on the verge of bankruptcy. Again, when countries at large are on the verge of bankruptcy, most people don't know what that really means. I mean, we know when we personally go bankrupt, but what happens when a country goes bankrupt? I'll tell you, it's dire. The government is in huge trouble. The people start to revolt, and you get panic everywhere, and that's what's happening in Europe at this particular point. They just don't know what the outcome is going to be, and what I believe is going to happen is that these countries like Greece and Spain and Portugal and Italy will all go back on their old currencies. They'll be thrown out of the euro, and the euro will not be here probably in another couple of years. The currency markets are really what we need to watch, because it's really the currency markets over the short term that are going to tell us which direction these markets are going to take. Again, I've been in business for 35 years. I've seen almost everything happen in these markets. I've seen devaluations of currencies. I've seen massive inflation, and I've traded the markets during those particular times, so I have the experience to trade them. even though for the last 8 months the gold and silver and commodity markets have been in a funk, they've been trading sideways basically, it hasn't taken away from the fact that those are the markets that you really need to be in because of your insurance policy against what the ultimate situation is, and the ultimate situation is massive inflation. And again, with everything going on, as confusing as everything is, just remember one thing: there is absolutely no way that we're not going to have massive inflation going forward. And again, it's going to start in Europe, and the reason that it's going to start in Europe because these currencies are going to be devalued substantially. If the euro is at 130 and Italy has to go back on the lira will be a quarter of what the euro was. That means that when you convert your currency back to a weaker currency, obviously you can't buy as much with your currency, and that's inflation in its most simplistic terms. As commodities like oil and food go higher and higher, and your dollar is buying less and less, that's inflation to the max, and that is definitely what's going to happen. So all we need to do is ride out this situation. Again, we said at the beginning of the year that the markets were going to be extremely volatile, and they certainly have been. The reason that we thought it would be volatile is because of Europe, which again is certainly going on, and the fact that this is an election year in the United States. So again, you're going to see a lot of posturing in the market. You're going to see oil prices come down to where they are at this particular point, but we knew that was going to happen. So you may say, well, why would I recommend buying oil when we knew that the market was going to come down? Well, number one, there's other factors in the market that we're going to wake up one day in the foreseeable near future and see oil possibly trading at $200, and you do not want to be out of the market when that scenario happens. And again, that will happen probably during the summer if Israel and Iran go at it, and again, it certainly appears that is a possibility. So all in all, we're watching the currency markets. These markets are very similar to 2008 when the stock markets and commodity markets all plummeted at the same time, but then gold and silver came back and made new highs. And I do believe that is going to happen again. The other thing is the U.S. dollar is key to what's going to happen short term in the gold and silver markets. And here's what I'm seeing. Right now that the U.S. dollar is trading at 80 cents. 80 cents is an important price, but 84 to 86 cents in the U.S. dollar is where I would be concerned. So that's still a long, long way away. Number two, the euro broke support at 130. It's trading at about 129, but it's held in there very strong. So if things were really dire in Europe, the euro would be plummeting, and it would have fallen a lot more than what it is right now, which also, in my opinion, is another reason why the U.S. dollar is not as strong as some analysts felt it would be. Now, here's something that's extremely important. The U.S. dollar will fall, and it'll possibly happen by the summertime. Now, Bernanke, obviously the head of Federal Reserve, may have to devalue the U.S. dollar by as much as 30 to 40%, especially if the U.S. dollar is dropped as the petro-currency. And there's a very, very good chance that will happen, and there's a very good chance that will happen by the summertime, possibly in July. Now, I've seen them devalue the U.S. dollar actually about 23 years ago when we saw the U.S. dollar devalued substantially, and it was a major occurrence in the commodities markets. We do believe that is going to happen again. Bernanke has come out and said that they favor a weaker U.S. dollar, and again, I do believe, as do other people, analysts, that they are going to devalue the U.S. dollar, and it literally could happen by the summertime. If that does happen, the markets will absolutely skyrocket in gold and silver and in oil, because oil will no longer be priced in U.S. dollars. And at this particular point, because of the situation in Iran, we know that China is buying oil from Iran but not using U.S. dollars, and so is Russia. And so is India contemplating the same thing. So this is already in the works, and it appears that if China, Russia, and possibly India are all buying oil right now from Iran on the QT, but they're buying it with their own currency, that could be the end of the U.S. dollar as the petrocurrency, which means oil has always been priced in U.S. dollars, and that could be coming to an end, and that could plummet the U.S. dollar by 30 or 40%, meaning that a 30% fall in the U.S. dollar at 80 cents will drop it down by another 24, 25 cents. That would put gold, in my opinion, at about $2,500 to $3,000, and put silver probably at around the $70 to $80 level. That's the reason that you do not want to be out of the markets, because this could happen overnight, and then you start chasing after the market. That's the last thing that we want to see happen. So just continue to keep your positions in the market. I've always said, and I say it every week, don't heavily leverage your positions. Own the market outright, and you're never going to have a problem. There's no way that gold and silver is going down to zero. In actual fact, gold and silver are getting ready to stage another major rally, and the reason I'm saying that is not only because of what I said about the U.S. dollar falling by 30, 40%. The other thing is that we're totally convinced that QE3, quantitative easing 3, is coming, and it's coming very soon. And when that happens, understand what will happen is that the U.S. stock market will rally, as will gold and silver, as will oil. So basically, if we see QE3, and I don't see any way that that's not going to happen. The U.S. economy is not doing anything. And again, with the elections coming, if we're in a stagnant economy, we're going to see QE3 happen. I'm convinced it's going to happen. Other major analysts believe this is going to happen. And when it does happen, these markets will turn on a dime, and you will see a massive explosion in stock prices and in gold and silver prices that could literally bring gold up to a brand new high. So again, that's the reason that you need to be in the markets at this particular point. The price of gold and silver are low. Silver at $29, $30 is an absolute steal. And again, with the potential of extremely high inflation, currency devaluation, and again, possible QE3 coming, that's the reason that you want to be in the gold, silver, and diamond markets at this particular time.
Story on the Drudge Report this morning, Israel could attack Iran at any time. The United States is very, very concerned about that. Add in the geopolitical, it is a very concerning time. You need to be very defensive. In fact, it was a couple of weeks ago, we warned our listeners that the elections in Europe would have a strong effect on what was happening around the world financially. And we saw that. Spain is in chaos. Greece is in chaos. And obviously the elections in France have created a lot of uncertainty. Then on top of it, yesterday, J.P. Morgan came out and admitted they lost $2 billion. $2 billion on some bad trades. That's why we've been saying nothing has changed on Wall Street. Don't fall for that things have changed. They haven't. Protect yourself. Have that insurance policy in your portfolio. Precious metals. There's only one company Harold recommends you use. That is a Canadian company. They're celebrating their 10th year in business. That's Worldwide Precious Metals. They're going to be in Edmonton, and they're coming very, very soon. If you would like to meet with them when they're in Edmonton and area, please give them a call, 1-866-623-2002, 1-866-623-2002. They'll be happy to meet with you. If you'd like to learn more, whether you live in Toronto, Calgary, or Edmonton, if you'd like to learn more about investing in precious metals, get your name on the list for our free weekly newsletter we send out via email. It's a must-read every week. It's a companion to our radio show. Give Worldwide a call, 1-866-623-2002, or connect with them. wwpmc.com, wwpmc.com. In our newsletter this week, some of the top headlines. A quote from David Rosenberg. He says, "You have to normalize gold against something. Its complexion has changed over time, and it's trading less as a commodity and more as a currency. The peak in gold will be $3,000 per ounce before the cycle is out, or until the time I change my name from Rosenberg to Goldberg." He says the biggest determining factor of gold prices is short-term interest rates, but David Rosenberg coming out and saying that he believes we will hit $3,000 gold, and I do agree with him. Also, Robert Fitzwilson, well-known money manager, saying there's only one way to protect wealth at this moment in time, and that is to accumulate real assets which are not subject to the whims and foibles of politicians and central bankers. These are hard assets such as gold, silver, real estate. And he says he believes that they're incredibly undervalued precious metals. Now is the time to buy. Morris Hubbard out of Vancouver saying, I expect gold will rise to $2,100, followed by a further spike to $2,400. His technical analysis indicates that it could reach $2,800 by March of 2013. Goldman Sachs coming out this week and saying they are still bullish on precious metals, saying that we could hit 1840 over the next 6 months. We're a lot more bullish on that than that. Richard Russell, he was speaking this week. You can read the article in our newsletter, and I think he put it very, very well. He says, it's difficult to make people believe that there's a difference between an investment for a possible profit and a store of wealth. But rich people know the difference. When a man has made a lot of money, he can basically protect that money, and he needs to start worrying about losing the money at the same time. That's a time when you look to eternal stores of wealth. Recently, Scream, the painting by Munch, sold at auction for $119 million. He says, I doubt if the buyer cares whether the painting will be worth $100 million, $50 or $200 million 10 years from now. The buyer knows that he owns a priceless work of art, something that will double in value in case of wild inflation, or something that will be worth $60 million during the worst deflation. Even if the dollar becomes worthless as a unit of exchange, the Munch painting will still be worth a fortune in whatever unit of money is in favor 10 or 15 years from now, all of which tells us something about gold. For over 5,000 years, gold has represented purchasing power. No matter what form of gold money or what form of money was in existence at the time, gold possessed purchasing power, which is many wise men own gold, and that's why he says people buy gold today. He said at the very end of this article, if I asked you to leave something for your grandkids in a package to be opened 100 years from now, would you leave them a wad of $100 bills or 100 gold coins? If you had any brains, you would pick the gold coins. I'd venture that Warren Buffett would also pick the gold coins. Why? Because we know that 100 years from now, the gold coins would represent value and purchasing power, and the dollar might not exist. He said, end of story. And Harold, it is interesting that people have to understand, yes, there's the profit side of precious metals, making money, but there's also the wealth preservation side. And in the times that we live in, we've heard this from many different analysts, a lot of what we're doing today is wealth preservation. We need to preserve the wealth that we have, and we have about a minute left in the first segment of this show, but wealth preservation is a huge component as to what we're doing today.
You better believe it. Again, it's extremely important, and again, it's an insurance policy against all these horrendous things that are happening out there. Again, Europe is falling, the banks are falling, countries are falling, and the same thing is happening in the United States. Again, it's an unbelievable time in history, and for the small investor, just the everyday hard-working man and woman out there, what do you do to protect yourself? Again, the best thing to do at this point is to have some money in the hard asset market as an insurance policy against all these horrific things that could take away our money. That's the reason we do the radio show, is to give you the information you need to make an intelligent business decision. The smartest thing to do at this point is to own gold, silver, diamonds, have some cash on hand, and pay down your debt as much as you can, and get ready for what's coming, which is massive inflation.
David Stockman was interviewed, and he had a quote from that interview. He's the former congressman and director of the U.S. Office of Management and Budget. He says, my investing model is ABCD. Anything Bernanke cannot destroy. Flashlight batteries, canned beans, bottled water, gold, a cabin in the mountains. You know, obviously it's a time where we need to protect our wealth. You can read that interview in our newsletter. There's so much information we can't get to on the show. That's why we say get our newsletter. It's a quick read. You can go through it in 15 minutes or spend hours. Worldwide, we'll be happy to send it out to you by email. Connect with them, 1-866-623-2002, website wwpmc.com. Learn about investing in precious metals today. Come back and talk about diamonds as the World Financial Report on radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall, continues right after this. Welcome back to the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial expert, Harold Siegel. This is our 500th show. Thank you for listening to our radio show. We're taping the show on May 11, 2012. Our time is 9:06 Mountain, 11:06 Eastern. Radio show runs AM 640 in Toronto. A friend of mine visiting from Toronto in Edmonton. We'll say hi to Kay, who listens to our radio show in Toronto and is in Edmonton. Show runs in Edmonton, 630 Ched, QR77 Calgary. Should remind everyone the shows are archived, HESradio.com, and you can be a part of our podcast there as well, so you'll never miss a radio show. If you missed any of the last 500, you'll never miss them again. And as Harold and I were saying off to the top of the show, we've never missed a show, and we have an incredible passion for what we're doing. Harold recommends Worldwide Precious Metals. They've been in business for 10 years. They're the people to help you. Let them earn your business. Let them help you get involved in the precious metals markets. They're the experts in this specialized field. Give them a chance to help you learn about the ins and outs. They're the experts. Connect with them, 1-866-623-2002, 1-866-623-2002. Their website is www.pmc.com. They're going to be in Edmonton and area here shortly. If you would like to meet with them, they'll be taking meetings. Give them a call at 1-866-623-2002, or you can email them or connect with them through their website, www.pmc.com, coming to Edmonton very soon, and they would be happy to meet with you. Harold's website is rarecoloreddiamonds.com. It's the number one website for diamonds in the world. He has taken this website to levels that others are just standing by and cannot believe it's happening. And we have an exciting announcement here shortly. Also, Harold's website, the other website he has is hsfineauctions.com. The next auction is May 22nd, 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain. And in our newsletter, and if you go to hsfineauctions.com, you can see the catalog for the next auction. Some diamonds there, some gold and silver coins. There's a Tiffany coin there. Go through and figure out exactly what you might have your heart set on for the next auction. But Harold, you're doing something a little different with rarecoloreddiamonds.com, and I'll let you explain it because it's very, very exciting. You're taking the website to yet another whole new level.
You bet, Randy. I'm very, very excited about what's happening in the diamond market. You know, as volatile as the markets are all around the world, stock markets, commodity markets, everything, you know, you don't see that in diamonds. In fact, in rare colored diamonds, which is what we recommend, they never fall in price because there's so few of them available. So again, you know, as the markets all around the world are extremely volatile and people can't figure out what to do, you really want to start to look at the rare colored diamond market as a store of wealth and protection because they're very safe assets. They never ever go down in value. They appreciate by 25% a year. Most of them double in price every 4 years. And again, we're the only company that can resell your diamonds for you because we own our own auction business that we built for our clients to resell their high-end collectibles. Now, what Randy is referring to, which is something I'm very proud of, is my business, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, spelled both Canadian and American. The fact is that we bring to you some of the most valuable and amazing rare colored diamonds for investment purposes. And again, why would you want to own diamonds during these particular times? Because history tells you that during these uncertain times, when currencies are going bad, inflation is on the horizon, and uncertainty is in the world market, it's where most people put their money because it's safe, it's portable private wealth, nobody knows that you own it, and it can be sold in other currencies. So the fact is that we have buyers out of Europe that buy our diamonds because their currency is 35% stronger than ours is. So, again, the currency markets have an awful lot to do with it. And, again, it doesn't matter what the name of the investment is. It's what's going to give you the greatest return with the least amount of risk, and that's the rare colored diamond market. There's no risk to the investments, but the fact is that the longer you hold them, the more and more they go up. And what most people don't know is that in 1979 and 80, when we experienced the highest inflation that we've ever seen, That's when gold went to record levels, silver went to record levels, currencies went crazy, colored diamonds went up 500% in those 2 years. How do you do any better than that? 500% in an investment that has no risk to it. Now, what Randy is referring to is what we do to improve our situation in the rare colored diamond market is, number one, if you go to yellow diamonds, and we recommend yellow flawless diamonds as one of the best investments you can make. They're still reasonably priced. You can get in for under $20,000. They never, ever go down in value. They double in price every 4 years, and a $20,000 diamond today, over the next 10 years, will be worth about $100,000. So again, if you look at your financial situation and you say, well, gee, if I got $20,000, do I want to put it in the stock market? Who knows what will happen in 10 years? The chances are is it'll be worth way less than what you than the $20,000 you put in. But if you put $20,000 into a flawless yellow diamond, in 10 years from now, that diamond could be worth $100,000. And we own 8 Siegel Fine Auctions, the auction company that will be happy to sell your diamonds for you. We make our money when you do well. We get 10% of the profit only when you sell your diamonds through my auction business, H. Siegel Fine Auctions. The next auction is coming up on May the 22nd, and it's going to be a phenomenal auction. So what we did, there's many, many different colors of yellows. There's faint, which we don't deal in. There's very light, which we don't deal in. There's light diamonds, which we don't deal in, but we do deal in fancy light diamonds. Fancy light diamonds, the caliber of the diamonds that we carry are very, very close to the fancy yellows, which are known as canary diamonds. So we added a new section called Fancy Light Yellows, and at this particular point, there is close to a dozen of these beautiful fancy light yellow diamonds. There's videos of every diamond on the website. So again, when you click onto loose diamonds on our website and go to the yellow diamonds, look at the new section on fancy light yellows. They start at about $15,000. That's where the fancy yellows were last year. But they go up by 25% a year, and now the fancy yellows are in the $20,000 to $25,000 range. So these fancy light yellows, if you have under $20,000 to invest, these diamonds will do extremely well for you. Look at the beautiful oval diamonds. They look extremely large, and the color on these diamonds are beautiful. And again, these diamonds never go down in value. They double in price every 4 years, and during times of high inflation, they've gone up as much as 500%. We will be adding more and more diamonds to our website. And again, some of these beautiful fancy light yellows will just literally take your breath away. Now, above the fancy light yellows are the fancy yellow, fancy intense yellow, and fancy vivid yellows. We will also be adding this week, and you'll probably be able to see them over the weekend, some amazing fancy vivid yellow internally flawless diamonds, the very, very best that money can buy. So continue to look at our website, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. We're constantly adding new diamonds. We cut and polish our own diamonds, and again, we keep them at extremely low prices so our clients can afford them. We want our clients to do extremely well, and there's never, ever been a more important time than now to own rare colored diamonds. Again, you've got currencies in Europe failing. The euro may not be here in 2 years. You could see a major devaluation of the U.S. currency. And again, judging by what's happening in Europe, our British clients are buying our diamonds like crazy because of the currency. The same thing is going to happen when we sell our diamonds. We'll sell our diamonds for the higher currency for our clients. That's what we do. Again, we're the only company that not only can deliver to you these magnificent, flawless yellow diamonds, but we're the only company that can resell them for you. Again, we own 8 Siegel Fine Auctions, and our next auction is coming up on May the 22nd. It'll be one of the greatest auctions you've ever seen. Now, even though the name of my business is Rare Colored Diamonds, and we do specialize in the most beautiful and valuable colored diamonds in the world, I did add a new section today. This weekend, and it's for D-flawless white diamonds. For those of you that are not familiar with D-flawless whites, they're compared to the rarest diamonds in the world. In fact, 0.001% of diamonds that come out of the ground reach this level of D-flawless. Now, D is the way that they grade white diamonds is different than colored diamonds. Colored diamonds, they go by fancy yellow, fancy intense yellow, fancy vivid yellow. In white diamonds, they go by letters, D being colorless. D being the very, very best that money can buy. And then add to the fact that these diamonds are flawless. You've never, ever seen diamonds of this caliber before. They're extremely expensive. The fact is that a 1.5 carat normal, good quality white diamond could cost you $5,000 to $10,000. 1.5 carat D flawless diamond could cost you $100,000 to $200,000. These are actually used as currency. There are so few of them available in the world, and by this weekend, you should see on our website in our new section of D flawless whites, you should see 5 or 6 of the most beautiful white diamonds you've ever seen in your lifetime. Again, these are not for everybody because they're not inexpensive diamonds. However, they go up at such an alarming rate because they're so rare and so beautiful that when you look at the video of the 134 round D flawless white that's on our website this weekend, it almost appears as blue. In fact, when you wear this into the sunlight, the diamond will actually reflect a blue hue that makes the diamond look almost blue. Plus the way it's cut. The rounds are so ridiculously rare, and the facets, the way they make this diamond shine and sparkle, it's like nothing you have ever seen in your life before. These diamonds never, ever go down in value. They're nearly impossible to get. So we've got a new section of D flawless white diamonds on our website, and we will be carrying these diamonds when most dealers in the world have never even seen a diamond like this. Well, these are the type of diamonds that we bring to our clients because they're a store of tremendous wealth. They never, ever decline in value. In fact, they go up more than almost any other product ever will. And again, these will literally take your breath away. The other thing that we are adding to our website over the next month, and especially during the summertime, is close to $70 million worth of the most beautiful diamond jewelry you have ever seen. We're talking about, pink diamond rings. We're talking about necklaces and bracelets and earrings that you have never seen. These are the type of diamonds that have been sold to royalty. And again, these will all be on my website over the summertime. In fact, we're just in the process right now of shooting the videos and the still pictures of these magnificent pieces. One of the pieces is a 50-carat emerald cut, all matching D flawless emerald cut white diamonds. I mean, these things are almost priceless, and these are the type of items that we're bringing to our clients. Now, again, they're not for everybody. We have diamonds that will start at $15,000 and go all the way up to $35 million, and we have clients that buy both. Most of our clients buy diamonds under $50,000. That's why we brought to you these yellow flawless diamonds that, again, are still reasonable in price, but respond to inflation and currency devaluation better than almost any asset. And again, if you're concerned about the volatility in the marketplace, you need to own a diamond put away because it'll make you a ton of money, especially with inflation coming. It's portable private wealth, and if the currency markets go to hell in a handbasket type of thing, we could sell these diamonds in Europe for euros or British pounds or England, in China for wands or Japan for yen. Whatever the strongest currency markets are, we have clients all over the world that buy our diamonds. So we're constantly improving our situation so our clients can do better and better. I've never, ever been more excited and more enthused about anything that I've ever brought as an investment to our listeners. We've done extremely well in gold and silver. We bought silver and gold 10 years ago when nobody else was even talking about gold and silver. Gold was at $250 and silver was at $3.80. Oil was at $18. Obviously, we've done extremely well in those markets. The best situation right now is to own gold and silver and diamonds because those are your insurance policy against the onslaught of what's going to come. And again, what does a small investor do when the world financial markets are doing what they're doing right now? We're not the Warren Buffetts of the world or the Bill Gates. We're not sitting there with billions of dollars in the bank. We're everyday hardworking Canadians that are trying to do the right thing and protect everything that we've worked for. And if you stick with conventional investments like stocks and bonds and mutual funds, you're going to lose all of your money. You saw it happen in 1999, and you saw it happen in 2008, and it's right around the corner again. The markets have never been more concerning than they are right now. So the smartest thing that we can do is to protect ourselves. If we buy insurance on our car, our home, our health, and on our life, there's we've got to buy insurance on our financial livelihood, and diamonds will do that for you. Again, they're not a short-term investment. You don't want to buy a diamond today and sell it a year from now. You're not going to make any money with it. It's a longer-term investment, but it's a safe investment that you're not going to lose your money on. The other thing is that it could return a huge return to you in a short period of time with inflation. And we do anticipate in the next 5 years that inflation will be rampant, and the price of our diamonds can increase by 500%. So go to our website this weekend, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. There's a lot of imitators out there that try to copy what we do, but you'll know when you see our website because it's got the auction site being advertised. We're the only one that videos our diamonds, and we're the only company that has the supply of diamonds, because I put a fortune of money. And again, the only reason that I would do something like that is because I believe in diamonds 100%. Again, I've been in the investment business for 35 years. I've called some amazing markets in my career. I brought to you gold and silver and oil and currencies and all those markets in the past. However, I think at this point, one of the best markets that we've ever made available to our clients is the rare color diamond market. And even though a D-flawless diamond is not colored, it's so valuable that it is something that we had to bring to our clients. So again, continue to come to our website. Continue to look at our supply of diamonds. Again, we do this for our clients so you can own the type of diamonds that you need to make the type of money that we need to get out of the trouble that everyone's going to be in over the next 5 years. Look at our beautiful inventory of yellow flawless diamonds. We've now added a new category called fancy light yellows, and the reason that we did that is that these diamonds are all on a very high scale. They look so beautiful, and they're very close in color to our fancy yellows, which are possibly $10,000 more than these diamonds are. So if you got under $20,000 to invest, look at our fancy light yellows. They're beautiful. They go up by 25% a year, and again, they do extremely well. If you got more money than that, you want to look at the fancy intense and the fancy vivids, and then on top of that, you definitely want to look at our new D-flawless whites and start to look at our jewelry, because you're going to see between now and the end of the summer about $70 million worth of diamond jewelry put on our website. We do this for our clients. We want our clients to get through these difficult times and do extremely well, and most conventional investments will not do well during times of massive inflation and devaluations of currency. Again, the next auction is coming up on May the 22nd, and we're extremely excited about this next auction. This will be the second last auction of the year. Because we'll take a break during the summer and come back in October. So if you go to HS, stands for Harold Siegel, HS, Fine Auctions with an S.com, look at our catalog for a new upcoming auction that's coming up on May the 22nd. We've got the Euro triple set. We got a Tiffany coin that will take your breath away. There's a video of it. You just won't believe this Tiffany silver coin. We've got the Wildcats of Africa, the Cheetah, which is a 4-coin gold set. We've got the Prestige set, the Giants of Africa, one of the most beautiful sets, and it's a prestige set. It's of the highest value that you could possibly imagine. We're offering a 10-ounce silver-proof coin. We're offering a 1-ounce platinum coin. Then we've got some magnificent diamonds, and when you see the videos of these diamonds, you're not going to believe what you're seeing. There's a half a carat, a 52-point fancy vivid yellow, internally flawless diamond where the color is so beautiful you just can't take your eyes off of it, especially when you watch the video. The next diamond that we just added is a 101 round fancy brilliant D-flawless white diamond. Is absolutely spectacular. There's a video and a GI report. Actually, that diamond is internally flawless. Then there's 2 magnificent rings. Both of them have appraisals of over $100,000 on them, and these rings are magnificent. The 275 cushion cut, fancy intense yellow internally flawless diamond ring, and then a 114 cushion cut, fancy bluish green diamond that we just had repolished, and it looks such a deep blue, and there's an appraisal up there for about $140,000. There's a fancy pink 35-point pear shape, one of the best diamonds you could get. There's a fancy vivid purplish pink argyle. It's a .32. And then the 2 last diamonds are outrageous. There's a 61-point oval, fancy intense purplish pink argyle, and then there's the 61-point fancy intense purple pink argyle diamond. And when you look at the video of that diamond, you just won't believe what you're seeing. Very seldom do you ever see a purple diamond. This is a pure purple pink, one of the most valuable diamonds you'll ever see. All of these diamonds are coming up, and all these gold and silver pieces are coming up for auction on May the 22nd. It's 8 o'clock Eastern Time, and it's 6 o'clock Mountain Time. What you need to do is go on to hsfineauctions.com, go to the Getting Started section, fill out the pertinent information. You'll be given a password. Now, when the auction is about to start, you can go to HS Fine Auctions. You'll be allowed in. You do not have to bid if you don't want to. If you're a first-timer, you can sit back and watch the excitement. But I can assure you one thing. This is one of the most exciting things you will ever see in your lifetime. When I built this site, I insisted that it was a live auction site, not like an eBay, where there's no selling. I sell every single piece, and I've got tremendous passion when it comes to what I'm selling. Again, these pieces are second to none. So again, you want to go to the Get Started section. You want to fill out the information. You'll be given a password, and then you're going to be able to bid on any of the pieces that you want or just watch. But it is something that is so exciting, and we built this for our clients to resell their diamonds and high-end collectibles. So again, please attend our auction. You'll love it. We built it for you, and again, there's some amazing pieces on there for everybody. Pieces that will sell for under $1,000, and pieces that will sell for over, close to $100,000. So there's something for everybody. Again, we bring these to our clients because they're important investments that you need to own at this particular time.
Well, as you can hear, the excitement and passion in Harold's voice for diamonds and collectibles. Take a look at his website, hsfineauctions.com. Auction May 22nd, 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain. The catalog is online. It's in our newsletter. You can get our newsletter from Harold. You can speak with Harold at 1-800-432-1022 or connect with him at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022 or rarecoloreddiamonds.com. The featured diamond of the week this week on his site is that 1.34 round, brilliant cut, D-flawless, white, internally flawless diamond. You can see the video of it on his website. We have a link to it in our newsletter. One other note, the Martian Pink, and this is the largest pink diamond ever auctioned, is expected to fetch over $8 million U.S. at Christie's Hong Kong Spring Auction May 29th. And this diamond is going on sale. We have the story in our newsletter. You can see a video showing the diamond, and we will keep track of that in the days to come to keep an eye on that pink diamond and find out what it sells for. The Martian Pink is one of the two famous pink diamonds in the world, next to the Williamson Pink, which is owned by our queen, Queen Elizabeth. And the reason it got its name, in 1976, a collector bought it from Harry Winston. And that was the same year the United States launched the Martian exhibition. And to commemorate this event, Harry Winston decided to name this diamond the Martian Pink. It's quite an interesting story. You can learn more by getting the newsletter from Harold and reading the story of the Martian Pink diamond. Connect with Harold. rarecoloreddiamonds.com, telephone number 1-800-432-1022, hsfineauctions.com. Next auction May 22nd, 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain, to invest in precious metals. There's only one company Harold recommends: Worldwide Precious Metals. They're coming to Edmonton. They've been in business for 10 years. If you'd like to meet with them while they're in Edmonton, give them a call at 1-866-623-2002, 1-866-623-2002. Their website is wwpmc.com. Speak with them, meet with them, learn about investing in precious metals. And Harold, we have about a minute left. It was a crazy week. We had warned people that there would be a lot of volatility in the market this year. We're seeing it with the elections in France, in Greece, those countries wanting to move away from austerity. J.P. Morgan losing $2 billion in a matter of weeks. As we've said for a long time, be careful. Don't trust Wall Street. Have hard assets. If you have a hard asset like a diamond or gold or silver you can hold in your hand, it's not going to magically, mystically disappear in some strange trade by J.P. Morgan. This is the time for hard assets.
You bet, Randy. I've never been more excited. Again, I think we're very close to the bottom on gold and silver. I think it's getting safe to buy again. There's too many things on the horizon that, again, that will push up the price. There's a lot of things on the horizon that will push up gold, silver, and oil. And again, I think we're going to start to see a rally coming into the summer. Again, we're enthused about the diamond market. Look at our website this weekend. You'll be blown away. And again, I wish everybody a wonderful weekend. All the moms out there, I wish you a very, very happy Mother's Day, and again, a very profitable day also.
Harold, thank you. 500 shows. Congratulations. It's great working with you, and next week will be 501.
You bet, Randy. I feel the same. You've done a fabulous job, and again, I hope all of our listeners continue to enjoy our show over the years.
Thank you, Harold, and yes, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Learn more about investing in precious metals. The company Harold recommends, been in business 10 years, wwpmc.com, their website, Worldwide Precious Metals, telephone number 1-866-623-2002, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Speak with Harold about diamonds, 1-800-432-1022, and hsfineauctions.com. Next auction, May 22nd, 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain. Check out the catalog online. That's it. Another edition of the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall. We will talk to you next week.